What we find is that there's tremendous need for 60% AMI and below. We have 21,000 people are on the waiting list for all of our properties, throughout our 10 counties. But you can imagine that there's a huge gap of people that make more than 60% AMI, but they can't afford a market rate apartment, which might be at the equivalent of 120% or 130% AMI, depending on the community that you're in. So there's this huge gap in the middle, and we've been working really hard to try to figure out other ways to finance affordable housing for that group. But what it really comes down to is we need free land. So where we have a school district or a city who's willing to put the land in, and we can get the construction costs to a place where they're reasonable, then we can get somewhere in that middle range. But at the lower end, the 60% AMI and below, we're leveraging public funds so that we can really write those rents down, to the lowest possible income group.
There's obviously the funding piece that's important, but the other thing that county and city governments control is the regulatory environment associated with the land, right? And allowing people to build more housing, denser housing, right? It's politically difficult to do, right? Because folks who have lived here for a long time, who have their home, like they don't want any change, right? And so they come and they fight. But that is the most powerful tool in the toolkit of local jurisdictions, is how land is zoned, and what regulations are associated with that.
And in Santa Cruz County, the maximum density that they'll allow for multifamily residential housing, this is not in the city of Santa Cruz, outside, is 20 units per acre. So in contrast, in San Mateo or Sunnyvale, the density might be 60 units to the acre. So you can get a lot more units, and we believe that can be done. You can do higher density, maybe not 60 units in Santa Cruz County, but let's say 40 units in a design that people are going to be okay with if they can just get past their knee-jerk reaction. So to me, it's the political officials being able to stand tall and say this is important and this is needed and this can be done well. And affordable housing isn't synonymous with other, that somehow I don't want them in my community. These are people that are already here, but for this affordable housing, they're not going to be able to stay. And so do we just want to become, a segregated or homogeneous, community, or do we want to really continue to have the vitality that we have today?